Ladies and gentlemen, as always, Topic 4 is brought to you by the Kinda Funny forums. Go to kindafunny.com/Gamescast topic to leave your topic for the show, just like all these beautiful kids did. All these questions.
Big, beautiful kids.
The big, beautiful kids.
Big, beautiful kids.
They're big?
They're big.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're good.
This is directed directly to you. All of these questions.
The topic is okay.
It's about you.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Doggy wants to know,
Good.
what do you have to say about your games not being called games by haters?
I replied to him with a haters gonna hate JPEG. It was the one of the guy going like that over a puddle.
Yeah.
So just picture that.
Yeah. Good.
No, I don't know. We talked about this, I guess, on the
Gone Home Cast.
on the Gone Home
on
Cast.
YouTube.com/kindafunnygames and podcast services everywhere.
So I won't go deep on it. You should grab the Gone Home Cast that we just did. But I don't know. I feel like saying something isn't a game is one way of just saying it's like it's outside of what you would traditionally consider like a game, right? And I mean, obviously, a dishwasher isn't a game, right? But when you're playing like an interactive experience on your game console, hopefully it means that we're doing something to expand the territory of what people think of as like being a game you can play. But if you want to hear like the deeper, dorkier version of like what makes it game-like to me, I think we talked about that a little bit more. I don't take it personally or whatever. I think it's just like it's just a way of saying this isn't for me. This isn't an experience that like connects with me, right? And the shorthand for that is this isn't even a game. And you know, like I'm not the kind of person who I'm happy just saying I don't really like something as opposed to saying it's not a whatever. But you know, the cool thing about what's going on with games now is they are just broadening constantly. There's just more kinds of games constantly. There's, you know, Minecraft begat survival games, you know, like survival crafting games were not really a thing, you know, a while, and now we've got those. Now we've got, you know, like VR is going to make these games that we just didn't have before. So hopefully there's just like more cool experiences for everyone as we keep going, you know.
Our boy Maximum Cortez, he wants to know, how do you feel about your haircut?
Oh,
I mean, this is more of a question for the Kind of Funny crew. What do you guys think of my haircut?
It's good.
Okay.
I like it.
I like it.
I like the old hair too, though. I want to say so. That's why I want to know. I've went through a lot of different types of haircuts in my life, and I felt differently about some of them. This one I'm having right now.
No,
that happy about.
No, I
What's
think
this?
Kevin, verbalize.
Oh, I like it.
Okay, all right. Because I
last haircut, not so much.
Okay, that was what it was. All right, because
We're talking about the long hair to the side one. Yeah.
Because I saw it on my peripheral vision, just Kevin just going. I was like, "What, hater?"
Oh, you're making fun of Nick.
Kevin's is the epitome of massive distraction on this show. You always catch me in the peripheral vision.
I've asked for a curtain for a long time.
Greg hasn't answered at all, and that makes me worried.
I like the hair fine. I miss the glasses.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a big glasses fan.
I mean, we do have 2 out of 3 glasses havers right here.
Yeah,
I can understand that.
Yeah.
I got LASIK. I got lasers shot in my eyeballs. I can't wear glasses
You're from
anymore.
the future. Did they do that on Wizard Island?
No, that would have been a magical spell, not a laser.
Excelsior!
Yeah, exactly.
Maximum Cortez also wants to know, what are your expectations for your games going forward? I guess Colin already kind of asked that.
Colin's thing.
Yeah. Fabio Arapi wants to know, I would like to know his most anticipated games of 2016.
Dishonored 2, Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, Firewatch by my friends at Campo Santo. XCOM 2 is sounding really awesome. That's a good 4. That's
Yeah,
good.
sure.
That'll do
Solid.
it. That's a good start.
Solid.
I can't wait for Firewatch.
And
We're
I
getting
want to
closer and
play
closer.
Oxenfree when it comes out in like a week. Or, well, I mean, whenever this airs.
Yeah.
It might be out now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking out Oxenfree when it hits.
Confucius90 wants to know, do you know or have you seen Ken Levine's next game?
I don't think I really know anything more about it than everybody else does. I mean, he's talked about how it's like this sort of like replayable story experience. That's sort of talk about narrative Legos, etc. But I haven't gotten to see it. I haven't gotten to seen it. I'm great at talk of. No, I haven't gotten to see it or anything. I know that they've been working on it for a while. They kind of went from the big team to small team thing. You know, I think they're like
You were ahead of your time.
They're like 20 or fewer people at this point, and I think they're, you know, like 2K is giving them the time to explore how to make something that they haven't made before. Basically, I'm I'm certainly interested to see what it ends up being.
Me too.
I'm sure this is an annoying question that Greg probably already asked you in the.
I have
touched.
touched Ken's beard multiple times though. So
What's the review on that? How many platinum trophies?
That's like. Can it go up to 11 out of 10?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
Is that where you got your powers of creativity by touching his?
Well, as like last time,
Now someone touches
last
yours.
time we met, went in for the hug, and he said, "I think we velcroed a little." So yeah, some sparks were thrown off. There might have been some transference.
Oh
that
my
was
god.
a good Ken impression.
Yeah, I love
I
that.
spent a lot of time around him.
Why is Gone Home not on Vita?
Oh, I didn't ask that.
Oh, you didn't?
No, dude. At
The
this,
fuck, Greg?
it's been two
You
and
have
a half
one job.
years of me begging to get trophies and Gone Home. It's on PS4. Good enough. Like the
Yeah.
war is over.
It was hard enough getting it to run well on consoles. I don't even know about
Beat it probably.
about
Yeah.
handhelds, but I mean I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's take it one step at a time.
I'll
We're doing
Yep.
2 consoles right now. We're taking it 2 steps at a time.
Good.
We'll go from there.
I'll respond as Gio Corsi would with remote play. Every game's on Vita.
And that's actually true. And I think probably being able to lie in bed with it on remote play be a good match.
Yeah.
And speaking of all this,
Yeah.
Jeff Meyer 87 says, "Can you ask about the challenges bringing Gone Home to consoles and how they got it done?"
I mean, we part of why it took longer was Unity 5 coming out made things a lot more viable to get onto PS4 and Xbox One than Unity 4.x. So, you know, the engine being upgraded helped just because compatibility with the new consoles was greatly improved. Performance was improved. Features were added, etc. And then the other side of it is when we kind of jump started the process back up, we brought the port in-house, and our programmer Leon had done the ports in studio, so we've been able to like be there, you know, like making sure that it's what we want it to be,
Yeah.
you know, like every step of the way. So you know that, and there's the first time you as a studio, not like somebody working at a AAA studio, but as like an indie studio, tries to get a game on a console, you learn a lot. There's you know, just all of the testing, certification, approvals, all that stuff, you know, you kind of like you jump in and you're like, okay, we'll know how to do this next time. So you know, it's been a big learning experience. It's been it's the challenges everybody has, probably just trying to get their own game onto console. There's a lot of stuff you got to get right, you know.
Mm-hmm. Emmett Watkins Jr. wants to know, what do you think's the next twist on the teenage/coming of age genre, like Gone Home and Life is Strange?
Oxenfree coming to Xbox One and PC.
There are a lot of questions I want to know about what's happening to these kids' lives.
There's also teens in Firewatch.
Yeah, but they are just drinking.
Yeah, I mean,
drinking
they're
on the fire.
they're nude teens,
Yeah, they are.
My favorite.
Kevin's into it.
but they're only in silhouette. They're very far away. You don't get to. It's fun. No, I actually, I mean, I honestly am looking forward to seeing what Oxenfree is doing with it, because like, it's cool that we've gotten to a point in games where you can be like, man, there's sure a lot of games about just like teens being friends with each other and talking. It's like, really? We've got too many of those, because you know, like, and so it is really cool that more people are able to broach topics of just like, oh, we should do something about like this time in our lives. You know, that's awesome to see. So, but you know, and we're seeing like when we were doing the Gone Home cast, Greg mentioned Emily is Away. You know, Nina Freeman, who works at Fulbright as a level designer, just a couple months ago released Sybil, which is a game about being a teenager online, playing an MMO, falling in love with someone else that you're playing this online game with. So I think there's all these perspectives into just like, what does it mean to kind of re-examine your youth through interactivity, through games, through different formats, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, I'm sorry. I should have done this because when I think it was Marty pitched me on Oxenfree a long time ago, the way he did it was Freaks and Geeks meets Lost, and I left that part out. That's a better.
That's a good
summation.
pitch.
Marty,
All right.
leave everybody. I don't know where he works.
Fatty Man wants to know, in what ways can games like Gone Home be expanded on to add more interactivity for the player?
I mean, I guess that was kind of what the Tacoma thing was about. I mean, because I think that something that's really important about Gone Home is that most of the most of the action happens in your head, right? Like it's about giving the player the interactive tools to like fully explore everything they would want to explore about this environment, but then like you're putting all those pieces together off screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's kind of important that it isn't about like changing the story by playing or the story being different every time you play because of randomization or whatever. Like the value of it is just you being given this box of pieces and the mental work of like organizing them into something that makes sense to you. But I hope that something like Tacoma will add additional layers to that where you're like, not just I can kind of watch what these people did, but I'm arranging myself in the timeline of their experience and having another tool for picturing, oh, here's what this must have been like before I got here. But I mean, I think there's something really cool about just kind of like giving someone a place and letting them just find out what it's about. Like, you know, there's plenty of real life stories of just like, oh, there was this, you know, this house we found, it just seemed like the family never came home one night and it's been, you know, abandoned for 20 years. Just like being in there, just going through and just trying to find out who these people were, like that's amazing, you know? So I think just giving players like the fidelity to really feel like they're able to be that person in that role and really have that amazing discovery, I think is powerful on its own, you know?
Mm-hmm. These next two questions are kind of similar. We got Lil Sausage Party.
Yeah, we do.
Who wants to know,
You mean in this room right now?
how do you feel about creating games that are designed to make people weep like newborn children? And Ryan Parker wants to know, how does it feel now that you've made one of his favorite games of all time?
Aww. Those aren't that similar.
Well, both in terms of how do you feel about these things?
I feel like I love to lap up gamers' salty tears. So making people cry is wonderful. No, I think that like, so to that question on the real answer to that question, I think that if anything, I think there's some people who are like, well, if you can make people cry, that means you made art. Yeah, if you made people cry, that means it was like a real like experience. I think there's a lot of ways to make people cry because you know how to make them cry, not because they actually felt something legitimate, you know? And so I think and hope that if people had that strong of an emotional reaction to Gone Home, it was because they felt like they really made a connection with these characters and what happened to them. And like, I hope that it's a good, I feel like a lot of people, when they say I cried at the end of Gone Home, it was like out of like relief.
Sure.
That like this person that you had grown attached to and cared about is going to kind of be okay in a, like a bittersweet way. And I would much rather be able to say that that's the like intense emotion someone had than like, we got you with like, you know, all of the kind of emotional, you
tropes,
know, like, yeah. So if we can make something that people had that reaction to because they like cared and believed in it, then I'm happy. And to the second question, I would just say, feels good. Thank you very much.
Does it ever weigh on you? I mean, like, because we talked about it a little bit with like, you know, Minerva's Den comes out and everybody's like, it's the best DLC of all time. And then you go and you make Gone Home, right? And people, it's giving 9s and 10s. I guess we kind of see a little bit of that in the original, you abandoned the original Tacoma idea, right? Or is it constantly on your mind of like, I don't want to let people down. I don't want to disappoint people.
I think we just don't want to repeat ourselves because players won't be excited about what we're doing and we won't be excited about what we're doing to get it done. You know, I think that we try to listen to ourselves as best as we can and say like, do we really feel like this is something that we've never done before and that we have to get out there because, and if the answer is yes, then hopefully that means people will play it and be like, wow, okay, this was worth playing. Like I needed to play, I need to tell my friends they got to play this thing because there's nothing else like it. So, you know, I think that it's more about not becoming complacent and not being like, oh, last time we did that, it was good, so let's just do it again.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
For the final question, I'm going to take things in a really weird direction. The Arctic Sloth wants to know, if you were a serial killer, what would be your calling card?
Of course, Franklin Sizemore shows up and asks this.
I would drop a Greg Miller headshot on every dead body so that Greg Miller would be arrested in my place and go to
I don't
prison
know if
forever.
they just arrest me on that.
They would.
I mean,
like, it must be this guy.
I read the synopsis for this thing called Making a Murder, and it seems like the justice system and police force, they're pretty much on top of everything. It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't be that easy.
I'll find somewhere where they don't try that hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, that topic was brought to you by Audible. Do you love books but find that you never have time to read them? Well, Audible.com is the perfect solution. Get audiobooks and listen to those books you've been meaning to read while on the go, at the gym, during your commute. Audible.com provides over 180,000 audio programs from the leading audiobook publishers, broadcasters, entertainers, magazine and newspaper publishers, and business information providers. Their app is free and works on iPhones, iPad, Android, and, I can't believe this, Windows Phone. You also download and listen on your Kindle Fire and over 500 MP3 players. And unlike a streaming or rental service with Audible, you own your books so you can access them anytime, anywhere, right from your smartphone. Audible.com also has a great listen guarantee. If you decide you don't like the book you chose, no worries. You can exchange it anytime you're unhappy for another title, anytime, no questions asked. And just for listeners, Audible.com is offering a free 30-day trial membership, so go to audible.com/KFgames today to start your free trial today. Again, show your support for Kind of Funny Games and get a free 30-day trial at audible.com/KFgames. That was for you, Colin.
You know how I feel about that.
I do. I
hate
do.
/.
Yeah.
Just /. No one's using the other /.
Yeah.
No one's using it.
Audible.com/KFgames.
No one's writing a URL.
No one. Except
in
for
the
Nick.
21st century.
Nick Scarpino.
Hitting the other, oh
my God.
It's a whole thing.
Steve.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
This has been fascinating. This is one of the better Gamescast.
Yeah.
Overall.
This one was really worth the $1.
Yeah, this one's worth $1.
It's been really fun. Thanks
Gone
for having
Home
me
is
on.
worth the money too. Go get
Yes.
the Gone Home.
All right.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, I love you guys all very, very much. We'll see you next week.
See you sons of guns.
What the foxtrot?